Good morning. We're going to paint mountains, and we're going to take a little bit of blue on our old trusty fan brush. And we're going to go in the sky a little bit. We just want to give it a little bit of blue color in the background. We want to make it look nice. And we're doing 3 panels. Our mountains will cover 3 panels, and so we're painting 3 panels at once. A little bit of an ambitious undertaking, but we can do it. When you're painting in 3 panels, everything just flows from one panel to the next. Then when you hang them, you just put them all 3 in a row. Or you can stagger them just a little bit if you want. That's totally up to you. But we're going to just put a little bit of blue up here. Give ourselves a little bit of blue up there. Now, we're also going to give ourselves a little bit of blue at the bottom, because there's actually going to be water down there. So we're going to just put some blue down there as well. Now with blue, if you don't have the exact right color, if you want a lighter blue, just add white. If you want a darker blue, add a little bit of black. It's real easy to kind of change your coloration on your blue a little bit. Of course, if you get pre-mixed colors, you can use them as well, but you just don't want to keep the colors totally pure. You want to go with a little bit of layers and give it a unique look. Now, that's the great thing about doing an acrylic painting. With acrylic paint, your color dries very fast, and you can paint right over it, and you can get good coverage. Now, okay, we're going to leave the blue a minute. We're going to get a little bit of white here, and we're going to go with a little white down here, because our water down here wants to have a little bit of life to it, and we're just going to work at that for sure. Acrylic is a great medium. You can thin the color and use it about like watercolor. You can get a lot of transparency by going over with thin colors. You can do a lot of techniques. Acrylic is a great medium to use. Now, we're just going to go with some whites in here, and we're going to make it look a little bit like we got clouds that are doing all kinds of fun stuff back here. We definitely want to give it some character. Don't worry about it not a painting not being perfect. You're creating your little world. Nothing is perfect in nature. We just want to make it look nice. I believe right now we're going to take a real bold step in this one. And we're just going to go with black over in here. And we're going to begin what later on is going to become trees. But right now it's just going to be black. Once you get a little bit of coloration on a picture, once you establish where these areas are, it's real easy to go in and put details, because you want to leave some of the black to give it character and to give it presence, to give your picture some impact. So that's what we're working at here. And we want to establish where the shapes are going to be. It's just kind of laying in where the shapes are going to be. Now we're going to go over in here, and we're going to go on over. And we're just going to establish kind of with pictures you want to keep in mind the eye flow. And as you can tell kind of with this, what we're kind of doing is we're establishing a flow that your eye's going to take when you look at this painting. So what we're doing by creating dark pockets, which will kind of frame our picture, and it will create a flow, and it will really make the picture look interesting, look complete, and it will give you a good path for your eye to follow. It's just an interesting little technique, and we're definitely going to use that technique. We're going to give ourselves a lot of interesting shapes, and as you can tell, we're so far we're working at creating interesting negative shapes as well, because your shapes that you may not paint, that may be blank, you want to be well aware of, because right in here is your negative shapes. You want to keep them in mind too. See how that's got a negative shape there? It just adds interest. The more creative that your negative shapes are, the more interesting your flow is, the better details you have. All of that goes together to really make a painting or any work of art really make them pop out, make them be something special. Now we're just going to make sure we get it as black as we can back here, because what we'll do, we'll build up, and it will look nice. But we're creating your little world, so it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. You just want it to give the appearance. There are many techniques that you can also use to really make it look like you put in a lot of detail. And really you didn't. The fan brush is good for that because it makes it look like that you got trees, leaves, brush. You can really create a lot with fan brush. It's a nice little brush that it saves a lot of time, and it really makes things look like that you labored over them, and you really didn't. But it will look like you did. Now, see, the more that we establish with some color, the better off we are, because that will make it so much easier on finishing the painting. It will be much easier. Now we're getting this in here. Okay, we just want to go on over here. This dark area, it won't be that hard to add details into it. And it'll really make it look neat. We're going to go on down here. And we're going to go up a little bit because later there's going to be a bush there. But right now it's just dark right now. And this right here is going to be a rock. That's going to be a rock. Right now it's just a little bit of paint, but later on it will be a rock. And then we're just going to go on down here. And the more we get done in this area, it's really going to help our picture get done, and it's going to help it look tremendously good. Okay. Now we're going to go on over here. Now we're going to go over here just a little bit. We're going to go on up just a little bit. Just to give ourselves something to go on here. So this is going to be a good foundation for the rest of this picture, because building upon this will be nice. And it will be fairly easy to build upon this. We're just going to go on over here a little bit. I'm going to get a little more black over here. See, with just this little bit, do you see how much character we brought into it already? Quite a bit. And that's the beauty of it. And we want to go over here with some of our ends to our black there. If you can give it a little bit of finer detail near the end, that'll be nice, because when you go and you put your other color, you want to leave some of the black. You want to let some of the black show through. And it really will turn out to be a nice painting. I do believe we may be done for right this moment, and we will come back and work on more.